Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here. Happy Monday, all y'all. Hope you guys are having a great start to your week. Whew. You know, I didn't plan on going live today. I've got some movie plans later. Tim Burton's Batman and Batman Returns are going to play at the Dolby Cinema at the local AMC. So I'm going to relax in some comfy chairs, take a trip back to my childhood, and enjoy those films surrounded by the best sound that I can think of in the entire theatrical experience. So I'm looking forward to that. But we do have some fun little news. There's some news that was just, it's a little bit older now, but it's about the Halloween video game. So I thought I would jump in and cover that. And then we've got a couple of little news stories about, a few other films. One's about a major franchise, and then we've got some trailers we can watch today as well for some new IPs that are about to be released. So I hope you guys are having a great time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content. If you're watching after the fact, thank you so much. Jump on into the comments. Let me know your thoughts on any of the news stories we cover or anything else at all. And guys, I'm realizing that what I probably should have done, since this is one of our new, featured kind of things, I'm trying to come up with the logos for every little thing that I'm doing. So I probably should have superimposed my horror news, but I guess it'll all work out in the end, because I think my camera is going to end up going where that spot would be. So I'll figure something out for the next time we do news, so we can have everything showing up here in the background and everything, looking super sexy. Really quick before we get going, I do have a poll in the chat that I want to let you guys know about. So the question is, which horror icon deserves a video game next? We got 15 votes so far. Your options are Freddy Krueger, Ghostface, Chucky, or Jigsaw. I think Jigsaw could be kind of interesting because you could do like a true puzzle game with that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts there. Looks like we've got quite a few votes, so that's awesome. Thank you guys so much. I also have a super chat goal up. Again, guys, super chats are definitely not a requirement here, really. I just want you to like and subscribe and share the channel. All of those things are free, and they all help the channel greatly. That's why the channel has been experiencing this awesome growth lately, guys. June, July, and August have been absolutely incredible. August has been arguably the best month in the channel's barely over 2 years lifespan. So right now our sub count is at 1,683. So just a week and a half ago, we crossed the 1,600 mark. We're marching right along to 1,700. We've had over 100 subscribers in the last 28 days. Thank you so much to everyone that's a new subscriber. And thank you to all of the people that have been here for a while, that have been liking the posts, jumping in on the streams, sharing the channel, talking about how much they love this, community and this group that we have here. It really is something special. I'm just a part of it. You guys are a massive part of it. So thank you so very much. Really appreciate you. And yeah, I think that's all I gotta really worry about now, except for the fact, if we pick up in momentum, I think we're just going to miss the 2,000 mark before Halloween. But if the momentum keeps on growing, guys, and we do reach 2,000 subscribers before Halloween, you know the deal. I'm going to do a live stream on Halloween dressed as the Alpha from 28 years later. True story. So I don't think it can happen. I don't think it will happen, but I'll challenge you to prove me wrong. Let's see what you guys got. I'm going to say what's up to everybody here in the chat. I'm going to show off a couple things here that I've just been working on in the background for the channel, and then we're going to jump into the news. It should be a nice hour and a half-ish kind of stream. So let's just jump in and say what's up to Chester Franklin Jr. How you doing, bud? Great to see ya. Lamontre Gillard, what's happening? Ashton Lux says, hey, howdy, hey, party people. Congrats on getting your team signing Scary Terry, Davey. Thank you so much, Ashton. I felt like it was going to happen. It's just nice when it finally does, right? There you go. Let's see here. We got Amanda hanging out. How are you doing, Amanda? So great to see ya. Brett from Good Real Hunting, one of our great channel members, and Death Squad Mod says, hey, everyone, seeing the first Conjuring on the big screen. Bucket list coming true. Have a great stream. Thank you so much, Brett. Really appreciate you. I hope you have a blast. So you're getting into some nostalgia there at the theater right now, and I'm about to do that later. Heck yeah. We got Gory Tiger in the chat. What's happening, Gory? Always a pleasure, my guy. Always a pleasure. Gene Whitcomb, what's up, Gene? The Oct jumping in to remind us, guys, just 67 days until Halloween. So 66 days to see if we can get over 300 subs on the channel. Yeah, I don't think that's happening. I would have to like pay some sort of bot or drop some huge super chat and have somebody advertise for me for that to happen. Don't think it's going to happen naturally. We got Matt Facci from Facci Cinema in the house. What's happening? Matt says, Davey, my stud muffin lover. Ooh, Matt. Ooh, yeah. Hope you're doing well, Matt. Loved the stream. Guys, last night, Matt covered Jason X with his son, Logan, who I can tell really knows the movie. He was able to talk about the movie in a very confident manner and had very strong opinions about a handful of the Friday the 13th movies, at least the ones that came up during the discussion. So that was super fun and really sweet to see. Logan doesn't look like, he can't be that, what is he, like 10, 11, maybe 12? I don't know. I have such a tough time figuring that out. Matt, if you're still in the chat, let me know. But really cool seeing him there on the stream with you. We got Brett Patrick in the house. What's happening, Brett? So good to see you, bud. Let's see who else we got. King Matthew the Third. I'm doing great, King Matthew. How are you doing? How is the lady doing? Let me know. Oh my gosh, we have Trisha McMasters, one of our great channel members, Patreon members, and Death Squad mods. Hope you're doing well, Trisha. I hope I didn't guilt trip you into jumping on into the stream. I know you're very busy, and I can certainly appreciate that. Guys, Trisha's not only a mother, she's also a business owner. With school starting and all that stuff, I can only imagine, but it's always a pleasure seeing you jump in, Trisha. Really appreciate you. Guys, we have 24 people hanging out here. If everyone could hit the like button, that would be amazing. If you're not subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You know, if the channel's not for you, that's totally cool. You can always back out later, but the subscribe is free. So let's see here. Who else do we got going? Brooke Scarlett's in the chat, one of our great channel members, and Death Squad mods. What's happening, Brooke? You'll be at 2K in no time. My goal is 6K by Halloween. You know, it can take it. I hit 1,000 almost a year ago. So, but man, the last few months have been the best for the channel. So it's all about hitting that stride. And then, you know, spooky season, we do see a boost covering what we cover, Matt. So it's possible for both of us to hit that goal for sure. We got Dean Renner, one of our great Patreon members, Death Squad mods, and YouTube channel members. Hope you're doing well. Eat that dinner, Dean. We'll see you here in a bit. JG Michael jumping in says there's a good Scream fan game out there. Forget the guy's name. Some Italian programmer. I did not know about that. Oh my gosh, we got Destiny Faulkner in the house, one of our great Death Squad mods. Hope you're doing well, Des. Great to see you. Always a pleasure. That was fun watching Braden and Chad do the commentary for, you know, the Haddonfield Nightmare and The Last Nightmare Part 1. If I hit 2,000 subscribers before Halloween, I'll dress up as Michael Myers for Halloween, doing it anyways. Yeah, when I hand out candy, I do that for sure. Not going to do the alpha thing for the candy handout. What's happening, Paula? So good to see ya. Logan is 11. Okay, so I was in that ballpark. I think that was one of the numbers I read off there. We got Adrian James in the house. What's happening, Adrian? Always a pleasure to see ya. Joel from Dark Room Reviews jumping on in. Thank you so much for the love on the shirt. And I even got my Halloween hat with my TSL pin and my H45 pin there as well. So there you go, showing my nerdy love since we're going to talk a little bit of Halloween news here. Okay, and we got Frankie D 1976 coming on back. Welcome back, Frankie D 1976. Hope you are doing well. Okay, guys, here, really quick. Before we jump into the news, I just want to show you guys some of the stuff I've been working on the side. So, you know, this last weekend, we had Cecil Laird from the Horror Show channel jump on in, and we just did an impromptu stream on Saturday night. It was 11 p.m. Eastern, I think, is when we went live, 8 p.m. out here in the desert. And, you know, Cecil just hit me up and he was like, do you want to go live and just bullshit? Like, no real direction. And I'm like, well, that's great. We'll go live on my channel. We can stream it on the Horror Show channel as well. And you guys were amazing in the chat, man, just keeping the conversation going. And it was just so easy to have like this unfiltered, unguided talk, let you guys kind of guide the discussion. And we just brought a couple, you know, a topic here and there to bring to the channel. So really, really excited to keep that going. I'm thinking Cecil and I are probably going to try to do that about once a month. I would say bi-weekly, you know, but I think once a month is like, then that way it's always going to be fresh and fun, and it's not going to be something that, you know, would interrupt our schedules or would be like, you guys would be like, oh my gosh, they're doing another friggin' unguided meditation here. So I think that'll just keep it fresh. And with how busy, you know, everyone is in this day and age, we don't need to, you know, I overload you with content as is by myself. But really quick, Leanna Bevy Rage is in the house. What's happening, Leanna? So great to see you. One of our channel members and Death Squad mods, and one heck of a model American. There you go. Logan is live. Is that the man? Is that the man, Logan? What's happening, Logan is live. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Great to see you in the chat. Great to see you. Good dick. Yeah, dude, our Death Squad mod chat on Instagram is rated X. Yeah. Here we go, guys. I just want to show off a couple things to you. So having said all that about Cecil's appearance, I'm like, Cecil, I want to have you back. So let's put together a little something, and boom, we got a little logo for the next time that Cecil is on. We're just going to call it Unfiltered Horror Talk with Davey Deathray and Cecil Laird. And you guys know Cecil's a big fan of Freddy, so we got the Freddy glove there. I'm a Michael Myers guy. I keep it simple. Maybe too simple, Cecil would say. So we got the butcher knife there as well. But yeah, just a little logo for our fun little live streams. And the cool thing about that, yeah, guys, we'll show up with a couple topics, but we'll really let you guys, you know, guide us from there on out. So so that's just one of the fun little logos I've put together here over the weekend. Last night over on our members only stream, we watched Mario Bava's 1964 classic giallo, the very first giallo, according to IMDb, Blood and Black Lace. And that is part of a new feature called Cult Corner. So sometimes Cult Corner will just be for members only, depending on just how it falls. I wanted to roll it out with the members. So guys, if you're channel members and you missed that live, feel free to check out the live stream last night. You know, Blood and Black Lace is playing on Shudder, Tubi, Plex, and it's right here on YouTube as well. So you can watch along. I got the stopwatch going and everything like that, so you can follow along. But guys, Cult Corner is always going to be focused on kind of like these hidden gems, like these movies that, yeah, they're horror movies that we probably know about because we're really nerdy about that stuff, but horror movies that really haven't broken into the mainstream or like the pop culture zeitgeist, right? So we're not going to be talking Halloween or Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street or any of the mainline stuff, you know, the Night of the Living Dead movies, not even like Black Christmas or like TCM or any of that. So it's going to be these movies that, yeah, some of them are probably going to be older, like, you know, 60s, 70s and 60s. We're also going to have some fun stuff from the 80s though. And it seems like there's always some sort of corner of horror that just isn't getting as much exposure as some of the other films. So Cult Corner will be watch parties. It'll be discussion on film, all that fun kind of stuff. And then what we'll do with Cult Corner is we'll have you guys essentially decide with a poll if the film gets the Cult Corner seal of approval. So I'm excited to unveil that. I've got a couple logos I'm thinking about. Don't get mad at me. I love the Late Night with the Devil font and everything, but rebranding Late Night with the Davey with a couple logos. So here's the true late night one with that nice neon glow. And then we've got this one for Late Night with the Davey Before Dark with a nice little sunset there. So I'm thinking about using those in thumbnails and everything, just kind of having a solid brand, a little bit of a less busy thumbnail, all that kind of fun stuff. So there you go. Yeah, Davey is the leader of the Cult Corner. And then we've got I Finally Watched It, which is a series I used to do way back in the early days of the channel, and I want to bring it back. I think I'm going to bring it back as a live. It's not going to be a pre-recorded thing, but it'll be sort of like I'll still do little short videos about movies that I've recently watched. Like I just watched The Kill List. I just watched Dolls. Those were first-time watches for me. So it would be fun to do, like, you know, maybe even I Finally Watched It's just a segment, like a weekly segment on one of the live streams where I just hop in, we do a little I Finally Watched It, and I sit there and talk about the movies that were first time watches for me, just whenever that pops up. So wanted to bring that one back as well. And then, of course, you're tuning into it right now, Horror News with Davey Deathray. And I've even dressed up a logo for spooky season that I'm not going to show you guys because I want that to be a little bit of a surprise. So yeah, just some of the new stuff we're cooking up over here, just trying to keep it interesting, trying to really like find a solid brand for the channel moving forward. I want to get to those 2,000 subs. I do and I don't want to dress up as the alpha from 28 years later for Halloween. So yeah, we'll see if we get there, guys. But really appreciate every single one of your support. You guys have been absolutely amazing. You know, it's no secret. I've not kept it a secret here on the channel over the last year. It's been a pretty rough one just in my personal life. Last 6 or 7 months, a lot of ups and downs, guys. And the one constant was all of you. So thank you so very much. I really do mean it. Our mental health check-ins here. If you've got something going on, or if you've recently conquered something, or you've got an accomplishment that you want to share, then we can share it here on the channel. We can celebrate all of that and support each other and all that good stuff. That's what we want to do here. We don't just talk horror. We're here because we like one another. So yeah, and just to let you guys know a couple of other things. So, you know, I'm about to have my 3rd therapy session here within the next couple days. And not only that, the therapy's going well. I'm really enjoying it. As far as like my sober journey goes, I'm 19 and a half days in. So I'm on my 19th day of, or I'm about to, you know, I'm wrapping up my 20th day of no alcohol. So pretty fun. Maybe I'll do some shorts about that, because honestly, doing a short about my sober journey kind of popped off. Who would have known? So really quick, before we jump into the news, I'm just going to say what's up to some people that jumped in while I was blahing. We got Tyler Adams in the chat. What's happening, Tyler? Good to see you. One of our great channel members. Erica, one of our channel members and Death Squad mods. Hope you're doing well, Erica. We've also got Double Feature Podcast. What's happening? Mika, Kira, maybe both. Hope you're having a great night. We got Dynamite Tiger in the chat. Love that logo idea, Davey. Got an 80s, 90s late night TV vibe. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Yeah, feel free to let me know what you guys think of the logos. If you hate them, that's cool too. Just feel free to let me know. I'm digging the logos and all that kind of fun stuff. Logan is live. Said, Davey, did you ever play Jaws Unleashed on PS2? All the hype around the Halloween game sparked my memory, and I rebought Jaws Unleashed to play, hopefully by this weekend. After nearly 20 years. I never played that game myself, but I'm aware of it, and I've watched people review it and everything. Looks like a damn fun game for sure. And yes, we are going to talk about that Halloween game. So let me just make sure I'm not missing anything else. Thank you so much, Trisha. Really appreciate you guys. Really appreciate you. Let's see here. It's looking great though. Are you making fun of me in another one? So much graphic design. Yeah, you know, Copilot's a heck of a thing, right? It takes my direction very well. Frankie says, I would love to see a Nightmare on Elm Street video game with Robert Englund's Freddy, with him being the voiceover artist too. Yeah, hey, it's possible. I know this news isn't news anymore, but we're going to talk about Nick Castle returning as the Shape. And I think, yeah, Robert Englund could return as Freddy in a video game. Absolutely. Yeah, I know. It's tough, Trisha. It's like, I like the taste of all that stuff, and I do enjoy it to a certain extent, but I think I enjoy it a little too much. Big Papa Musk, one of our great channel members, jumps in and says, what's up, guys? I think 28 Days Later could be a good survival horror video game. There's a lot more material that could build a solid horror game. Yeah, I think it would make a better game than it did a movie. It was one of those movies where, like, I really enjoyed it the first time I watched it. The second time I watched it, I started to, you know, kind of the shine had already worn off, and the third time I watched it, I was falling asleep halfway through. It just borrows a lot. To me, it's not as fresh as it seems on that first watch back in, what was it, 02 or 03 when it came out, something like that. Oh, okay, guys. I just need a breather and a little water really quick, and I'm going to check the poll, maybe close out that poll, maybe start another one. Let me know in the chat, guys. Do you guys like the polls? Tell me. Do you like the active engagement? And if you're watching after the fact and you can't really see the polls unless you're watching the chat replay, you can tell me you hate them. It's okay. You can tell me what you would pick. Which horror icon deserves a video game next? Let's go ahead and close that one. All right, 31 votes. Ghostface wins with 38%. Freddy Krueger in second with 35%. Chucky gets 16%, and Jigsaw with just 9% of 31 votes. So you guys want a Scream video game. If you're watching after the fact, jump in the comments. Let me know which one of those icons you would like to see starring in their very own video game. Yeah, Leanna. God, Leanna, you're so snarky. Davey really likes working the polls. Yes. That's, hey, you know what? When I tell people I have a home gym, yeah, I pole dance. I'm just joking. I'm joking. That's not my home gym. My home gym is way dorkier than pole dancing. I'll let you try to guess in the chat what it is. And if you already know, if I've already told you, you don't get to put that in the chat. So stop. Okay, let me drop another poll in there, and then we're going to jump into the news here. Let me see. How about this? Let's cover some news really quick, and then we will. Oh, you know what? I got a good one here. I got a good one. Sorry, I just want to make sure it's a good poll. You know what I mean? If I'm going to use it, it needs to be a good poll. Nice and healthy and strong, you know? All that kind of good stuff. Let's see here. There we go. Don't mind the camera shaking, guys. Okay, what else do we got? There we go. We're almost there. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's what we got. There we go. Boom. Favorite Elm Street sequel, Dream Warriors, The Dream Master, which I think is pretty damn good and keeps on climbing up my list. Wes Craven's New Nightmare or Freddy versus Jason. Let your voice be heard, and let's go ahead and jump on into the news. All right. A poll at home would be sick. Yeah, I don't have enough room for that. But man, it's a full body workout, right? It's got to be, I would imagine. I mean, it's like sexy gymnastics. Although I don't think it would be very sexy with me doing it. Well, maybe. I don't know. Depends on who you are. What's happening, Jamie, one of our great channel members, and the OG Death Squad mod, our mama mod. Jamie, I do want to let you know I reached out to you on Instagram, and I would love to hear back. I know you don't always jump into your Instagram messages, so this is the only way I've got to reach out to you. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and get the news going, guys. I've sat here and talked to you for over 20 minutes. I hope you dig the logos and all that kind of fun stuff. Just let me know. And before I really screw things up here, let me go ahead and do this and do that. Okay. What do we got here? There it is. There it is, folks. Okay, guys, so we got some exciting news just a few days ago from the folks over at Bloody Disgusting. I believe it was the folks over at Halloween Movies on Twitter, X, the Halloween Portal people that shared this. Guys, Nick Castle is returning as the Shape in the Halloween video game. And this one comes to us by way of John Squires there over at Bloody Disgusting. This is really exciting because, you know, when I was doing my previous videos covering the initial news of the announcement of the game and everything, there were rumors that Kane Hodder had played the Shape. And so, you know, while covering that news, I was like, well, this is what I've heard. We're assuming that that's the truth because he had talked about in a recent interview about doing motion capture for a gun video game. So that must be something else. Maybe he worked on this. I don't know, but we do know for sure that Nick Castle is involved. So let's go ahead and take a look at this story here. We've got a really nice shot there. Like, I don't know, man. This video game isn't even coming out probably for another year. I would imagine like mid to late August 2026. This looks really good. Like, that looks almost like a shot from a movie straight up right there. Love the lighting on the mask. To me, they've got the look of the mask just down. Yeah, just stunning stuff. And the article here says, the big horror news of the week, last week, was that Halloween the Game, an official video game based on John Carpenter's original horror classic, is headed our way next year from Illfonic. and it will feature online multiplayer, offline bots, and a single-player story mode, which is huge, guys. The news gets even more exciting as we head into the weekend, as the team announced that original Shape actor Nick Castle performed the motion capture for the game's Michael Myers. So yeah, it sounds like he performed all of it. So if Kane is involved, I would imagine it's in some other capacity. The article continues, the official Halloween Portal account tweets, quote, although it may be slightly different than the one he wore on film in 1978, Nick Castle put back on a suit to deliver the iconic walk, movements, and kills as only the OG Michael Myers could. Quote, in what is just one of the many ways Compass and Illfonic are striving to bring the utmost authenticity to this game, we wouldn't dream of having anyone other than Nick bring this character to life in this new digital realm, and we are thrilled he was eager to participate. This is massive, guys. Not only is this a great way for these actors that we know and love, and aren't, let's just say it, they aren't of the age to really participate fully in these films anymore. Just a few minutes ago, before we started covering the news, we were talking about how awesome it would be for there to be a Nightmare on Elm Street video game, and bring Robert back to play Freddy, because physical features and all, and aging, and you just put on a motion capture suit and you can have the Freddy that we know and love. Maybe if they did that, you could even pick the different Freddys from the different video games, because they all have a slightly different look. So here, bringing in Nick Castle to play Michael Myers, especially because the game takes place in 78, is massive. Even if there's another performer that you think is a better Michael Myers or someone you prefer, I totally get it. To me, Nick Castle is my favorite, and James Jude Courtney's right there behind him. So if Nick weren't able to, I would want to see James doing the motion capture, because to me, he just captures that. I don't know. There's just something about, it's the je ne sais quoi. There's just something about the way Nick plays Michael. It is just, it's almost like he did it without even really putting too much thought in it, and then it became this very fine-tuned thing that no one could ever replicate. Isn't that the weirdest thing? That really it's just walking, it's these slight movements, but there is something so particular about the way Nick Castle played the Shape that I'm so excited. I love Kane Hodder, don't get me wrong, but we would, I think we would look at the game a little bit differently if Michael didn't perform or move the way we wanted him to. And hopefully Nick has brought that chill energy that he brought in the original film, and that we just get that natural, creepy Michael Myers performance from him. So there is a behind the scenes shot that we're going to show off here in a second. Just to finish out the article here, guys, we did cover the trailer and we covered the whole entire website. So I'm not going to go through every article on Bloody Disgusting that covers the game, because a lot of that was covered in our live stream. I even snipped out the section. It's about a 20-minute video where we go through the whole website. We read everything. We show off all the pictures. So if you haven't seen that yet, jump on over, give that one a watch. I'll go ahead and drop a card here so you can click on that if you missed it. But just to finish out this article here, it says, Halloween, the game, will invite players to step into the chilling world of John Carpenter's... The article finishes here. Halloween, the game, will invite players to step into the chilling world of John Carpenter's genre-defining film, now transformed into a suspenseful one versus many stealth horror experience. Put on the iconic mask to become the ultimate slasher, Michael Myers, stalking and executing the citizens of Haddonfield one by one, or striving to thwart Michael Myers' plans as civilians determined to save the unaware townsfolk before it's too late. And the game will unleash on Xbox Series X/S, PlayStation 5, and PC via Steam and the Epic Games Store in 2026. And here is that beautiful shot of Nick Castle. Look at him. He's just like, he's like finding his zone there. He's just, boom. He's got it. He's meditating. He's just getting ready to do the walk, to do the movements, hopefully do the head tilt. Maybe we'll get a little something. We'll get a little bit of everything. Love the sneakers, Nick. and in pretty good shape for, I don't know how old he is at this point, but I would imagine he's somewhere there in his 70s. But really, really cool to see him, or to find out that he is the one behind all of this. So yeah, guys, there is the news about Nick Castle performing the Shape in the Halloween video game. And one other thing that I want to cover while we are talking about the Halloween game here. Let's see here. Let me just bring it on over. Okay, here we go. Here's another article from Bloody Disgusting. This one reads, Halloween the Game exclusive interview. Everything you need to know about the upcoming game. This one is from Harrison Abbott over at Bloody Disgusting. And guys, this is a huge article, really big interview. I recommend you check it out on your own time. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but I skimmed through it earlier and I found some points that I wanted to just bring up to you guys, because there's some little tidbits and some nuggets in here that are not on the official game website. So I'm just going to kind of scroll through. Really great shot there of Michael. For everyone that's watching after the fact on the clipped out video, you're going to be able to see these full screen. So I'll just let the live audience kind of take a look there. And I am going to scan down to the really, really good stuff that I saw earlier. So let's see here. Where does that all begin? Okay. The game night he came home. So really cool shot there of the Myers house with the Strode Realty sign in front of it. And let's see here. What's the fun stuff that we had? Okay, here we go. So I believe this is Jordan Mathewson that they're referencing here. It says Mathewson took over for this breakdown, elaborating, quote, "We've tried to emphasize stealth on both sides of the killer/survivor dynamic. For me, it's about stalking." For Michael. For Michael, it's about stalking. His mechanics revolve around quietly observing in the shadows and biding your time to get the best possible kills. You see, there will be NPCs inhabiting the map, living their lives and going about their various October 31st traditions. Your job is to pick them off. Meanwhile, the other players will be sneaking around and trying to alert those civilians to your presence, just like in the teaser trailer we showed. Plus, we've got the cops and Dr. Loomis adding an extra wrinkle to the proceedings. So if the Michael player isn't performing well, he'll have to deal with extra resistance, and there are a lot of interesting situations that can arise from that. And expanding upon that point, Garrettson said, quote, "Most other asymmetrical horror games are about escaping, but that's not the ultimate objective for the survivor players here. Instead, you're trying to stop Michael's rampage and save the town. You can eventually end the match and spectate, but the goal is always more complicated than merely run around, loot, and escape." We think that makes it feel new and interesting. And the folks over at Illfonic say here, quote, "Moving to Unreal Engine 5 has given us a huge visual boost. You can see that most obviously with Michael's mask, which is a huge priority for us. It's such an important part of the franchise iconography, and we had to get it perfect. There's been so many iterations of that one prop over the years across multiple different movies, but they've all degraded, and so there was nothing available for us to laser scan. That meant we had to design it from scratch, and we ended up obsessing over every last microscopic detail, as they should. If we were making this 4 or 5 years ago, we would have had fewer polygons and less dynamic lighting at our disposal, but Unreal 5 was a real asset for us, and the end product looks super impressive. I'm very proud of how the mask and the rest of the game is shaping up." And then the last thing here, just wanted to talk about this solo, campaign, the single player campaign. The article says here, "In all fairness, the team has already dipped their toes into these waters with Friday the 13th's virtual cabin and its Hitman-style challenges that were added post-launch, but they've never done anything quite this intensive before. Not only will there be an offline substitute for multiplayer matches, giving you the opportunity to practice with AI bots, but there will also be a bona fide story campaign. Developed in collaboration with Pollard Studio, this mode will thrust you into the coveralls of the Shape and have you facing off against the townspeople of Haddonfield, the police, and of course, that pesky busybody, Dr. Loomis. Illfonic were cagey about revealing too much more at this juncture, but Mathewson is confident that the campaign will be a treat for fans of the film series. Quote, "It's such a fun mode. You'll get to have you'll get to have a very controlled Halloween experience that will hopefully drive even more people towards the multiplayer. We can't wait to show it off in the near future. Whew, so there we go. Some really fun stuff about that single player mode. I think that's really important just with everything people were saying about the video game when it was first announced. There was a lot of talk, at least what I was seeing in the comments section, people that just saw that Gun Interactive was involved and they're just like, oh, great, this is going to be like the Friday the 13th game and the TCM game, because they just see that name and they just assume the worst. So Friday the 13th, the game, there's rights issues there with Friday the 13th. That's why that game got taken offline. It might be coming back now that the rights issues have been settled. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre game didn't have a single player mode. Not only that, but the Halloween game, Illfonic is the main production company here, the main developer. Gun is working as like a secondary partner with them. So this is going to be an Illfonic game first and foremost. We're getting that single player mode. Being able to do the single player story mode or do the matches single player is really cool as well. That means if the servers go away and they stop using them after a couple of years, you can still have that experience by yourself. And I'm telling you guys, just to reiterate something I've said before when talking about this video game, Malik Akkad doesn't mess around. He takes this stuff very seriously. And I don't think he would have let them have the rights, if this weren't going to be something that would have longevity and, and be something that people would be able to play for years and years. There was even a quote that I saw on one of these articles. I'm going to see if I can find it and bring it back up, because I think it's something from John himself. Okay, I am going to bring this back up really quick, guys. So bear with me. Let me see. There we go. Guys, there's something I almost missed here that I wanted to share from the very same article. It's that big, long interview with the developers and the folks in charge of the Halloween video game. And we've got a nice quote here from Garrettson. It says, actually, the cool thing was we didn't have to explain a bunch of concepts to him. They're talking about John Carpenter. So I'm just actually going to go back here. That's a rewind sound there. Okay. So guys, there's one other thing on this article that I want to cover here. This is the same article that has the big exclusive interview with the developers of the Halloween video game. And the little bit here that I want to share says, finally, we had to ask about that enticing Hollywood name drop in the trailer. Illfonic tends to consult the original creators of any material they're adapting. In the past, they've secured the input of the Chiodo brothers for Killer Clowns and enlisted Tom Savini to help devise the grisly kill animations for Friday the 13th. Still, this is John freaking Carpenter we're talking about, a legendary master of his craft and a gaming enthusiast to boot. Surely it must have been a little intimidating trying to earn his blessing. And then Garrettson replies, actually, the cool thing was we didn't have to explain a bunch of concepts to him. Because he is a gamer, he knows this stuff already and has specifically mentioned what he wants to see from us in terms of ideas. So far, that working relationship has been amazing. The same goes for our interactions with Malik Akkad, who is, of course, you guys know, the son of the original Halloween producer Mustafa Akkad, associate producer of many of the franchise's later installments and current IP rights holders. And then Mathewson jumps in, echoing those sentiments and saying, quote, this is one of those opportunities that comes along once in a lifetime. The stars truly aligned to give us this level of access to the franchise's lineage, and it helped us assemble an experience that is very true to that iconic 1978 film. So boom, that just sort of puts a bow on it for me. Everything that I sort of assumed about what was going on in this game with the input of John and Malik working together on this, I think that we're going to get a game way better than the Friday the 13th or TCM game, and a game that's got way more support and a game that's going to live on for a really long time. And not only that, guys, we're going to see a new generation of Michael Myers and Halloween fans come into the fold, because some people, they're young enough to maybe they don't have parents that show them this, or uncles or siblings. And so it's just going to bring more eyes on Michael and Halloween, and that's great for all of us Halloween fans. But that wraps up the news here. I know it's a few days old, but I'm going to cover this stuff as we go on. So guys, I want to know what you think in the live chat. If you're watching after the fact, let me know down in the comments. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content. We're covering horror movie, TV, comic book, video game news all the time. So subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you won't miss a thing. All right, guys, I'm going to jump on into the chat with you. And maybe what I'll do here, I'm gonna do a little, you guys get to see a little bit of the process here. I'm gonna jump into the chat and take your comments, but we're just gonna go through a little bit of the process here. How about it? So that wraps up this round of Halloween video game news. Guys, if you're watching live, let me know what you think in the chat. If you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comments, give me your thoughts there. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content. We cover horror news all the time on the channel. Movies, TVs, comic books, video games. Basically, if I'm interested in it or if people in the community are interested, we're going to cover it here. So make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. All right. I've been meaning to do that lately, like bring it back to just me and say the goodbye instead of having me just like, hi, I'm little Davey in the corner. So anyways, I'm going to jump in and say, or see what you guys are saying in the chat, and then we'll get to the rest of the stories here. Dean says, Nick looks like he's telling himself, I need complete silence as I get into character. I need complete, and then what, he falls asleep. Old man falling asleep. Thank you so much for sharing that, Leanna. Appreciate you. Frankie D is hyped for the Halloween game. Oh, yeah. And hey, guys, Dean's new desk setup is complete, so he's going to get back to recording videos. Hell yeah. We need more from you, Dean. Tyler Adams is pumped. Chester, happy Monday to you as well. Story mode. Oh, yeah. This game is shaping up to be great. What's happening, Kyle Curtis? How are you doing, man? So great to see ya. Offline is the long-term value. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, I mean, shit, like, it doesn't bug me, the whole offline thing, as long as there's enough there on the game itself. And it sounds like there is. I mean, you know, Tyler, we're of the generation, we grew up playing games that were offline. They just had to be a good game, you know? So gun is essentially a small gun, not the big gun. Yeah, they are the hired gun. How about that? They're not leading the project. What's happening, Blu-ray? Great to see ya. How you doing, Todd? So good to see ya. We got Oracle 6848. All right, gotta go. Break is almost over. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you so much for tuning in. I tried to find what you mentioned, Davey, but I can't find it. Oh, just in Instagram DM. Maybe it didn't go through. I'll reach out to you again. Let's see here. Not a big gamer, says Blu-ray, but it's cool that Halloween is finally getting a video game. Well, let me tell you what, Blu-ray, there are a lot of people like me, not a big modern gamer. I'm going to be getting not only a platform to play the game, or not only the game, I'm also going to be purchasing a platform to play the game on because I can't say no to this one. Haven't gamed in so long, but the double, and I think it would be fun to jump on the Halloween game. Yeah. You know, we got to get both of you guys on the game. That's what's up right there. Hearing Gun isn't fully in charge gives me more hope. Yeah, it sounds like Illfonic just hired them for some of the developing. And I think Gun just got involved recently within, like, I think right before the summer hit. So they've been working on this game for a while. There were rumors about the game at H45. So this is something that sounds like it was at least on the drawing board, you know, for about 3 years now, something like that. And are you Cody jumping in? One of our great channel members says, what up, Davey in chat? So in the Halloween game trailer, is the blonde Lori or a random lot of people say it ain't, but it has to be? I don't know if they have the rights to the other characters or to their image. So maybe it's Lori and it just isn't a one-to-one for Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm not sure. Heard you're getting quite a storm in Phoenix. Oh my gosh. It is windy and very, holy shit, it's very cloudy. Yeah, I don't know. Rain starting in about an hour and a half. Great. Right when I'm driving in the friggin' movie. It should be fine though. Oh yeah, the rain is coming in from the west and from the south. So weather with Davey Deathray, where you can get your horror weather news. Feels like 102, but it's muggy as all get out here. Okay. Anyways, enough of that. Let's see here. I haven't owned a modern console, but I will be buying a console and gearing up for the game. There you go. Thank you for sharing that, Leanna. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and move on to our next story here. And with that, I'm going to kind of switch us up to a little boom. I like the red. I like that kind of dull red. There we go. Okay. We got a little Elm Street news. All right, guys, so there is a brand new book that has been released covering the Nightmare on Elm Street film series called Nightmare Autopsis. And it's got new interviews for every installment. This article here comes to us by way of John Squires from Bloody Disgusting. I skimmed it earlier. I'm not going to give anything else away. Let's just go ahead and jump right in to the article itself. There's a nice little image there. I believe that's the cover, part of the cover of the book. I will share the cover of the book for you guys so you can see it for the folks watching after the fact. And the article here says, Harker Press, the publisher who brought you Slash of the Titans, The Road to Freddy vs. Jason, and The Soul of Wes Craven, is back with a brand new book that takes a unique approach to exploring Wes Craven's original A Nightmare on Elm Street and its many sequels. From author Lowell Greenblatt, Nightmare Autopsis. From author Lowell Greenblatt, Nightmare Autopsis, A Return to Elm Street promises, quote, a nostalgic trip back to Elm Street to revisit the original Nightmare and its sequels. Featuring original story analysis and new production info, the book notably features exclusive new interviews and reflections by cast and crew from every entry. You're also getting a franchise-spanning photo gallery, new insights from 3 Nightmare on Elm Street directors, extensive looks at unused sequel scripts, and notes on deleted and alternate scenes, which is, guys, that's pretty awesome. I like the whole extensive looks at unused sequel scripts. That to me is the really fascinating meat of these, these books that come out about these franchises, like the what could have been of it all. Now, if you're a huge Fred head, you probably know that like Peter Jackson was working on a version of Nightmare 6 that would have been totally different than what we got with Freddy's Dead, but sounds like we're going to get some more info on some of the other sequels as well. So I think that's some pretty good stuff. The article continues here, quote, for the Fred head that likes to know every detail, this book is for you, says Harker Press owner Dustin McNeil. Quote, it's been a lot of fun to work with Lowell Greenblatt to bring this particular book to life. His attention to detail in exploring the Elm Street mythology is very much in the tradition of our earlier books like Taking Shape and Reign of Chucky. You'll not only learn about the storylines that were, but also storylines that almost were, such as in deleted scenes, discarded subplots, and alternate scripts. And it's all backed up by stories from the filmmakers themselves. Greenblatt says, quote, my love of film started at a young age with Nightmare on Elm Street. Greenblatt says, quote, my love of film started at a young... Oh my gosh, you guys, I can't even talk. What's up with me lately? I was on such a good streak. For, reading for you guys, and now you guys get all the bloopers when you tune in live. Greenblatt says, quote, my love of film started at a young age with the A Nightmare on Elm Street films. I've long felt that this franchise has been undeserved. Shoot me now. I've long felt that this franchise has been underserved in our cultural conversation around horror, especially during the genre's modern resurgence. My hope with Nightmare Autopsis is that their artistry and imagination will finally be appreciated as readers delve with me into Nightmare history. Whether you're a huge Freddy fan or a newcomer to the series, there's something for you inside. And this is available on Amazon right now. You can grab your copy. So it doesn't even sound like it's a pre-order. They've got a trailer. Guys, I watched the trailer earlier. It's just like still shots and AI voice. So I'm not going to show it here. I don't think it's going to be that great of a benefit to you guys. But I will scroll through here just so you can kind of see the ad. For you folks watching after the fact, I'll put this on the screen, full view so you can see everything. But it just kind of breaks down some of the features on the book here. And then we get into some of the folks that were involved in the interview process. We got our 3 directors there, we've got executive producers, and we have a whole bunch of performers that contributed to the book as well. So there you go. A Nightmare on Elm Street news while we wait for greater news on the rights and everything like that. We've at least got a behind the scenes book. I didn't even share the page the whole time. Way to go, Davey. Way to go. Oh my gosh. This is why I need to jump in back to you guys, because I didn't even share the page. Although I'm sorry, guys. Jiminy Christmas. Should I just end the stream right now? Should I just end the stream right now and just run away with my tail between my legs? Here, guys, I'll at least, you heard me read everything off. We obviously don't need to do that again. Let me at least scroll through these images so you folks that are watching live can check these out. So yeah, here is everything with the features on the book and the cover there. And then we've got the images of the folks that contributed. So we've got the directors, a couple executive producers, and about a dozen performers there. And then here we just get back to the cover there. So yeah, we're waiting on all the word and everything from the rights holders as far as a new film goes. We don't have anything like that, but these behind the scenes books are really cool for, all the fans who want to dive in and read all about not just the behind the scenes on what actually happened, but I think especially to those like what if kind of scenarios on the sequels. That to me is, the fun aspect of these sorts of books, like taking shape and all of that. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think in the live chat. If you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on this brand new A Nightmare on Elm Street retrospective book. And make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content. Because, guys, we're covering horror stuff all the time here. News, whether it's movie, TV, books, comic books, video games, all that kind of stuff. We cover it right here on the Davey Deathray channel. So make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, and you won't miss a thing. Okay, guys. Thank you for not being too hard on me there in the chat. You guys are sweet. I thought I would jump back over and people would be like, "You're not sharing the screen," because I wasn't sharing the screen. But I think you guys watching live, maybe there's the added benefit of hearing my mistakes and everything that it makes it fun for you. So Dean says, so far I have the Halloween new trilogy book, the newer novelization of the original Halloween, 2 books all about the Sleepaway Camp trilogy, and the Silent Night Deadly Night novel. Do you have any of the Taking Shape books, Dean? I don't have those. Still need the Taking Shapes. Okay. Yeah, the Elm Street book sounds good. $23 paperback, $31 hardcover, not bad. There's no digital version? Yeah, I think hardcover is probably the better value, right? If you're going to pay $23 for paperback, you might as well. There it is, hardcover it is for Dean. Okay. Moving on to the next bit of news, and I will make sure that I actually share the page this time. Let me grab a sip of water here. Okay, guys, so I am really excited about this upcoming film, Good Boy. It's releasing October 3rd, 2025, and it's this, supernatural haunted house horror film shown from the dog's perspective. So I'm just very intrigued at the concept here, and we watched the trailer last week. It looks really good, and then it didn't just look good to us. This thing went completely viral. The trailer viewership went off the charts. And as a result of that, we have this story here from John Squires of Bloody Disgusting that says, Good Boy getting an expanded theatrical release after massive trailer viewership. So that's really exciting stuff. We have a great little, or a nice little shot. It looks like Indy, our star here, is obscured by maybe one of the baddies in Good Boy. So I'll just read through the article here really quick. This is great news for an independent film. It took years to make this movie because it was years of training and years of filming the dog Indy. So let's go ahead and get into this article and see what John Squires has for us. One of the most anticipated new horror movies this coming fall is director Ben Leonberg's Good Boy, which traps a canine protagonist inside a haunted house. The film's official trailer became a huge topic of conversation on the internet last week, and IFC is responding to the buzz and social media chatter by expanding their original theatrical plans for this good boy. Entertainment Weekly reports that Good Boy will, quote, now receive a wide release from IFC, end quote. The original plan, the site notes, was to bring the film only to limited selected theaters. This decision has come in the wake of Google searches for the film spiking. Most are looking to make sure the canine lead survives in the movie, and the official trailer hitting almost 2 million views. Yeah, a lot of you here on the channel were like, I can't watch this movie because I'm worried that the dog's going to get hurt or the dog might not make it, or you don't even want to see an animal, seemingly under any kind of stress. So that's kind of funny knowing that you guys aren't the only ones that felt that way, because, with Google searches spiking, that's pretty impressive. Let's see here. The article continues. So, does the dog survive? We've got the answer if you're okay with the spoilers, and there's a separate link for that. So I'm not going to touch that right now. And just like I said, we're getting a release, a theatrical nationwide release on October 3rd. And just a quick synopsis here for the film, quote, a loyal dog moves to a rural family home with his owner Todd, only to discover supernatural forces lurking in the shadows. As dark entities threaten his human companion, the brave pup must fight to protect the one he loves most. So yeah, we got the trailer there. This movie looks really good. We've already covered that trailer here on the channel, so I'm not going to go back through that one again. But if you're watching after the fact, I'm probably going to push these stories together. So if you keep on watching, you can check out the trailer along with us, or maybe I'll put it even before this and I'll just snip this little section out. Who knows? But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to Good Boy. I know it's going to be, just an hour and 12 minutes, which I actually think is, it's kind of nice to know that they know what they've got, and they know that they don't need to push it to an hour and a half or an hour 40. If it only takes an hour and 12 minutes to tell their story, then why take any more time just cause? So that doesn't put me off at all, especially because I'm a slow burn fan and a haunted house fan. And I've never seen or heard of anything quite like this. So I'm interested to know what you guys think. If you're watching in the live chat, let me know there. If you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comments. Give me your thoughts on Good Boy. Is this something that you are going to seek out and check out in one of your local theaters? Now that we're getting a wide release, it should be easier for more people to see it. Let me know your thoughts on the film down below. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content, because we cover horror news all the time on the channel. TV shows, movies, comic books, regular books, video games, all sorts of stuff gets covered right here. So make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Okay, guys, what do you got for me on Good Boy? Is anyone that didn't want to watch it because they're afraid about the dog, anyone thinking that maybe they want to watch it now? I don't know. Kindle for just $9.99 on the Elm Street book. All right, that's nifty. Maybe I need to get myself a Kindle. What's happening, Antonis? One of our great channel members. How you doing, bud? So good to see you. The dog had better survive. I think so. I think the dog survives for sure. Let's see. I am okay with seeing brutal but fake deaths of humans in movies, but it can't be fake deaths of dogs. Has always been weird to me. I don't mean that to insult anyone who feels differently. Yeah, it's not exactly. It's not real or anything. I think it's maybe people just have a tougher time with the animals just because. But I don't think they're going to kill the dog here. I don't think. So funny they have that link for the softies that need the spoiler. Yeah, I would be so surprised if they did that in this movie. I think the movie's going to have a heartwarming ending. I don't know. It's just a feeling I've got. It's not based on any inside info or anything like that. But guys, to close things out, we've just got a few trailers. So these are going to be like pretty simple. I'm probably going to go for another 20 minutes or so because I need to, I'm going to get in a workout after this stream. And then I'm going to shower and get ready for the movies because I'm going to see Batman and Batman Returns back to back in the Dolby Cinema tonight. So let's go ahead and check this one out right over. There we go. Here we are. Okay, guys, so last week or the week before, we got this poster for a movie called Bone Lake. And if you saw the poster, basically it's like two skeletons and one of the skeletons is on its knees performing a certain act that I'm sure the adults in the room will be able to guess. But we finally have a trailer for the film here. This article comes to us by way of Megan Navarro over at Bloody Disgusting, and the headline reads, "Winners come first as romance descends into violence in new Bone Lake trailer." So this has got, I watched the trailer earlier I wanted to make sure this was worth sharing with you guys. There are some elements here that are similar to some movies we've seen recently, but it definitely seems like they're putting their own kind of unique spin on it. So I'm very curious to know what you guys have to say about this trailer, whether or not you're watching live or maybe you're watching after the fact. Let me know in the comments. But we are going to give this one a view here. I'm just going to read really quick, the synopsis and what we got going on here from Megan Navarro. So the article says, Bleecker Street is unleashing erotic horror thriller Bone Lake in theaters this Halloween season, and the brand new trailer promises winners come first as sex and violence collide. Bone Lake comes to theaters nationwide on October 3rd, 2025. Oh, I bet it comes to theaters. So October 3rd is gearing up to be very busy, guys. Shelby Oaks, Bone Lake, and Good Boy. There might be other movies dropping that day as well. That's going to be a big big day for horror this spooky season. The article continues in the film, quote, "A couple's romantic vacation at a secluded lakeside estate is upended when they are forced to share the mansion with a mysterious and attractive couple. In this darkly hilarious and seductive horror story, a dream gateway spirals into a nightmarish maze of sex, lies, and manipulation, bringing terrifying secrets to light and triggering a bloody battle for survival." And of course, we've got our cast listed there. I am not going to read through everyone's names. I don't think I recognize any of these folks' names. I'm sure some of you do as well. But let's go ahead and check out the trailer here for Bone Lake. What do you say? I'm going to put a stop to the music and we will get it rolling. So there we go. It's just us, guys. It's just Davey ASMR.
When Will saw this house on the app, he thought Bone Lake was a euphemism.
Yeah, I thought it was called Bone Lake because it's a secluded place where people come to bone.
Yeah,
I thought that. Great minds.
Male minds.
Sorry.
Do you guys like to play games? Everywhere you go and everyone you meet is playing together.
We have this house for the weekend.
Seems like we also booked this house.
It was supposed to be just us, and now we're with strangers. She's pretty.
So is he. So are you.
Think of this as an opportunity to prove your love before the weekend is through. But if you leave now, there are things about us and each other that you're never gonna know.
It seems like someone wanted all of us here.
Love is kind of like a game of chess. Want to know what happens if you lose?
All right, there is the trailer for Bone Lake. I was hoping we'd get a shot at the poster. Let me just I'll bring up the poster just to show you guys. Yeah, let me bring up that poster there. Let's see here. Nope, that is not it. That is not it. So there's that poster. Yeah, this does look like it's got a little bit of a dark sense of humor for sure. Big time sexy vibes, of course. It reminds me a little bit of like this sort of kind of companion sort of feel. But the whole like, hey, we rented this place. Oh no, we rented this place. A little bit of Barbarian. So it seems like it's kind of combining a couple of these ideas that have sort of been floating around for a while. And it looks like it's really going to deliver on some of the suspense and the gore and everything. So, you know, I don't think usually this sort of thing would be my cup of tea, but I've been going to a lot of movies lately and I've been giving things a chance, even if they're not really, you know, my kind of thing. So, you know, this doesn't look like a must see to me. I want to check out Shelby Oaks beforehand, and of course Good Boy. And it sounds like, actually, with Shelby Oaks, just a quick aside, the Horror Show channel got approved for Fantastic Fest. So I've got to go over to Cecil's place, but there's Black Phone 2, Shelby Oaks, Strangers Chapter 2, the new Deathstalker movie. There's a whole bunch of movies that I'm going to be able to see that like third week of September. So I'm going to see as many of those early as I can, which would be really cool. And we could, you know, do little, you know, reaction short videos for you guys. But anyways, getting back into Bone Lake. Yeah, this one looks like a movie that I'd, you know, probably check out in the theater. But I'd probably see it, you know, after Shelby Oaks and after Good Boy, just for me. But I want to know what you guys think in the live chat. And of course, down below, if you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content, because we cover horror news all the time here. So TV shows, movies, comic books, video games, regular books, even little tchotchkes and stuff like that. So make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Okay, guys, let me know what you think of Bone Lake. I feel like you got to say it like that. We got Brad Underwood in the chat. What's happening, Brad? Great to see ya. I saw something from Leanna. Bone Lake knows what it is. It does look decent, right? Doesn't look terrible or anything. I'm sorry, what lake? Yeah, let's see what else you guys going. You can't rush to watching Bone Lake right away. Take your time. Bone Lake looks cool. I can't wait for Shelby Oaks, says Dean. Yeah, Shelby Oaks looks like it'll be good. Mika is intrigued by Bone Lake. Yeah. It looks, I'd say, better than what I thought based on I thought it would be, I don't know, something even like more trashy based on the poster that I saw. So we got another trailer. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of this one, Night of the Reaper. Man, because I grew up in the 80s. I was born in 82. I have 4 older siblings though, so I remember a lot of the 80s. There's just something about it, you know, it just sort of sticks a little bit more. And there's a new movie coming out called Night of the Reaper. They just dropped a trailer that I watched. Again, some of these I screen ahead of time because I want to make sure that the quality is like up to snuff, you know, as something I would want to share here with y'all. So let's go ahead and jump on over here. So there is a new movie coming out here called Night of the Reaper, and we've got a trailer and a poster as well. And just like the headline says here, it does rewind to the 80s. There is a strong 80s vibe here. I really dig the way the movie looks. The set design and production design, all the props and everything looks really, really fun. Totally right up my alley as a child of the 80s. I was born in 82, so this is like just hits that perfect pocket of time for me. So I'm excited to read a little bit about this with you guys and then watch the trailer with you as well. So this one comes to us by way of Megan Navarro over at Bloody Disgusting. We've got a nice little image there of our frightened babysitter with a haunting visage behind her left shoulder. So let's see here. Megan Navarro says, in horror, Halloween spells bad news for babysitters, something a young college student discovers the hard way when a mass killer resurfaces in Shudder original Night of the Reaper. Night of the Reaper, which hails from director Brandon Christensen, who co-wrote the Halloween horror movie with Ryan Christensen, debuts on Shudder on September 19th. The film synopsis reads, quote, in the heart of a quiet 1980s suburb, college student Dina returns home and reluctantly takes on a last-minute babysitting job. That same night, the local sheriff receives a cryptic package that pulls him into a sinister scavenger hunt that sets off a game of cat and mouse with a dangerous killer. As the clues unravel, Dina finds herself ensnared in a nightmarish mystery that she may not survive. So we've got a, actress here from Cult of Chucky. We got a Final Destination 2 star. All right, we got some people popping up here. Christensen, who cites House of the Devil and When a Stranger Calls as formative horror films and sources of inspiration, wanted to put his stamp on the subgenre without retreading familiar ground. When Christensen began production on Superhost, he and his brother Ryan began talking about the idea behind Night of the Reaper and toying with the babysitter archetype. Let's see here. Christensen says, quote, "That started this idea of, okay, well, how are we going to build this? My brother wrote the opening, the first 10 pages or so, and he sent it to me while I was shooting. I was just like, holy shit, this is so well realized. Then he just kept going. We worked together after, and we started to find our pathway through, but it was a love letter to the 80s. So yeah, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into the trailer. I'll let you finish up the article yourselves if you're interested in reading more about this one, but let's just go ahead and jump in here. I will put a pause on the music. There we are. And let's watch the trailer for Night of the Reaper right now.
This showed up on my porch this morning addressed to you.
Night of the Reaper.
It's so great to see you back in town.
I really appreciate you helping out tonight.
Hey, Max.
Hello, Dina.
Let's play hide and seek. Are you downstairs? Are you in the dining room? Hey, Max. Are you outside?
They're showing us this for a reason. There's a clue somewhere.
What's this?
That's the basement. We don't go down there anymore.
Now it's freaking me out. Max?
Yeah, that place can give me the creeps.
Kiddo? Are you messing with me?
None of this is a coincidence, Butch. Not today.
Willis, what did you do?
Night of the Reaper, huh? Kind of catchy.
All right, so there it is, the trailer for Night of the Reaper. Yeah, I think that looks, when they say babysitter archetype, you're sort of like, oh no, is this going to be like too cheesy or too predictable? I'm going to throw the poster up there for you guys to take a look at as we chat here for a second, but love the artwork there on the poster as well. I think, these Shudder movies, they have such a high production value to them. I think that's one of the great things. This movie could have looked a lot cheaper, if it was like, I would imagine is this movie actually going to hit the theater? Did it say that there? This might be straight to Shudder. Yeah, they said, oh yeah, straight to Shudder, September 19th, right, is what they said. Or am I thinking of something else? There we go. Yeah, debut is on Shudder. So there we go. So yeah, not going to the theater, but this movie, this one really looks like it could be a theatrical release. The production value is there. So I'm really digging the way this movie looks. I don't expect these types of movies when they are this homage and they put us in this time and place and they have some of these, familiar old school kind of tropes. I don't expect them to like completely blow me away. Yeah, I don't expect them to completely blow me away, but I just want that trip back, really, and just something really fun, an experience that's fun that I can lose myself in. So I think Night of the Reaper looks like a pretty damn good time, but I'm curious to know what you guys think. The folks in the live chat, let me know your thoughts. And if you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comments, give me your thoughts down there. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content, because we cover horror news a lot here on the Davey Deathray channel, not just the big three, anything that looks interesting, and we talk about TV, movies, comics, regular books, video games. We cover all the horror news and have a blast doing it with the folks in the live community as well. So subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Okay, live folks, what do you have to say about Night of the Reaper? Let's see here. Brooke is interested, or maybe, oh no, you're talking about Hell House. Okay. Love House of the Devil. So good. Yeah. Love the babysitter archetype. Curious to see what they do with it. Hope you are doing well also, sir. Thank you so much for jumping on in and saying what's up. Leanna is in. She digs it. It looks fun. Tyler Adams says worth checking out. Okay, Shudder. I'm sold. Yeah, they're really good. Yes, Night of the Reaper looks groovy. I love seeing all the positivity here. Looks good. I'm in. Looks better than House on Eden. Oh, I would imagine. Yeah. Shudder has been stepping it up the past few years. Yeah. Man, even this movie you could put in theaters, at least from what we're seeing here. So, you know, and I know that Shudder, so that's the thing is Shudder does their own like straight to streaming, but they also helped produce When Evil Lurks, Late Night with the Devil. I mean, a whole bunch of movies really they helped produce. I think they were one of the big parts about one of the big factors in bringing When Evil Lurks to the States. So yeah, I mean, this looks like something that could hit the theater. So hopefully it does well for them. What's happening? We got MAGA Cat in the house. How are you doing, MAGA? So good to see ya. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and jump on into the last trailer, guys, because I do need to get a little exercise in here before I sit down for 5 hours watching the first 2 Batman movies. What do you say? Trying my best to get into shape and all that fun stuff. Guys, my goal is to, by the time I'm 45, to be in the best shape I've ever been in. I just turned 43 in May, so I've got less than 2 years. So it's a little bit of a time crunch, okay? Okay, let's see here. Beast of War ushers in new practical effects. Excellent, guys. Okay, so this one's going to be fun. All right, guys, we've got a brand new shark movie that is going to be releasing here sometime in the near future. And I didn't know anything about this, but it came up in the chat the other night. I had my good buddy Cecil Laird from the Horror Show channel on Saturday night. We just kind of did an impromptu live. That's one of the fun things we do here at the Davey Deathray channel. And we just kind of talked about whatever, and we let the chat sort of guide that conversation. It was awesome. And somebody brought up this film, Beast of War, and not only is it this shark movie, I'm a big shark movie fan. I mean, Jaws is my favorite movie of all time. A lot of shark movies are like kind of bad, but a lot of them are also entertainingly bad, so they're still fun to watch. I get a kick out of stuff that's entertainingly bad. I'm a Mystery Science Theater 3000 fan, so it's easy for me to find joy and find enjoyment in something that is maybe not the highest quality. But Beast of War looks great. I watched the trailer the other night. The really cool thing about this is we've got a practical shark in this film, which is incredible. Now, I don't know if there's zero CG at all, but you can tell that this is a practical creature that they've got in this trailer. So I'm very excited about this. I think the setup is really cool too. You'll see when we watch the trailer, there's a little bit of that USS Indianapolis Quint kind of speech vibes going on here. I know that's a true story, but this seems to kind of take some of those elements and weave something that's, a little more into the fiction side of things. So the headline here from Megan Navarro of Bloody Disgusting says, Beast of War trailer stirs up brutal feeding frenzy in World War II shark horror movie. And there you go. There's a little shot there of the practical shark. Looks great. Big old gums there. So the article says here, up next from Sting and Wormwood writer-director Kia Roche Turner is a shark attack survival movie set during World War II titled Beast of War, and the official trailer is unleashing intense shark survival thrills this afternoon. The period WW2 film is loosely based on real-life events, pitting soldiers against a great white shark, and will be released in theaters and on VOD from Well Go USA on October 10th. So that is not very encouraging that they're doing theaters and VOD on the same day. but I think the trailer still looks interesting. We'll check it out together, and then we can kind of talk about any sort of concerns we may have. So the article continues here. Beast of War, quote, follows a warship carrying hundreds of Australian soldiers across the Timor Sea to the front line of WW2. Suddenly, Japanese fighter jets scream out of the sky, and within minutes, the ocean becomes a hell of steel, fire, oil, and blood. While a handful of soldiers build a makeshift raft from floating debris as they cling to their lives, their biggest battle is yet to come. In the dark below, the ultimate apex predator, a great white shark, hunts in the wreckage and is drawn to the smell of fresh blood in the water. So let's check out this trailer for Beast of War. It's rated R for bloody, violent content, gore, and language. And Formation Effects handled the movie's shark effects, utilizing a mix of classic old-school animatronics and puppeteering, with that practical work aided by cutting-edge visual effects. So it looks like you probably clean up some of the stuff. Maybe if there's any mechanisms, you can sort of use, computers to get rid of those. But it sounds like they're leaning into as much of that practical as they possibly could. So let's go ahead and check out the trailer here for Beast of War. All right. And again, I totally forgot to share the friggin' page with you guys. I'm so happy that I checked it out or went back over here before getting the trailer going. So we are going to check out the trailer here for Beast of War, and we'll talk about our thoughts after. There we go.
Pretty soon, you boys will be sailing into war. And in that place, there's only you and your mates.
We can't be the only ones left. Nearly 200 men gone on that bloody ship.
Every hour we drift further away from where they'll be looking.
What the hell was that? Never seen a shark like that before. There's dozens of dead bodies out there for it to munch on. He's gonna die. Shut up, this.
On the battlefield, there's only you and your mates. All you've got are your mates.
She'll be back.
All right, so that's the trailer for Beast of War. Let me see. Oh, they do have a poster. Let's bring up the poster and chat a little bit about that. There we are. So guys, to me, this looks pretty promising. I mean, I love the practical effects. I think that looks great. I think, early on in the trailer, some of that stuff we see from the training and the battle scenes looks really good. I think my only concern with something like Beast of War, when you find out that something's hitting theaters and VOD the same day, makes you feel like there's not much confidence there from the people behind the project. And then there's also just, with the part where it's just going to be a handful of guys floating on the raft. How do you maintain interest and keep things kind of moving during all of that? That's my concern there. And how much of the film is based around that, I hope quite a bit. But I also, just concerns about keeping the story fresh and interesting and everything. But I want to know what you guys think. So let me know in the live chat. If you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comments. Give me your thoughts there. And of course, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content, because we're sharing trailers and news on movies, TV, books, comic books, video games, whatever it is. If it's horror and it's something interesting, we're going to be covering it right here. So make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. All right, guys. Let me jump on back over with you and spend a few minutes with you before I'm already sweating as is because it is stormy and muggy out there. But before I sweat my off working out here. Tyler loves the shark. Hell yeah. We got Solar Guy AJ in the house. What's happening, bud? So great to see you. Welcome on in. We got Eli Cortez jumping in, one of our great channel members, and Death Squad Mods. Hope you're doing well, Eli. So great to see you. Paula says Beast of War looks scary. Yes. It doesn't look like an easy time. Heck yes, Beast of War looks terrifying. There we go. Jamie's digging it. Ashton is in. All right, Beast of War. I may stream it, says Dean. There you are. Let's see. What else are we saying about the movie? We're trying to get Davey to 1.69 subscribers. Nice. Yeah, we're not too. One more? Really? We've the subs have climbed during the stream. That's friggin' crazy. Usually that doesn't happen. That's nuts. Are you guys serious? You fucking with me right now? Holy cow. Yeah, 1,689 subscribers. Guys, what if we could get to 1,700 by the end of the day? That would be pretty wild. Yeah, so anyways, we've covered the news and everything here. I do want to let you guys know that tomorrow night I'm going to be going live. It's going to be 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. We're going to have our guy Koi on the channel, Mr. Happy Sanjo, as you know him. He's one of our channel members. He also has a channel of his own, and we're going to be discussing just the recent movies that we've watched. Not necessarily new movies, although I'm sure some of them will be, but just anything we've watched lately. And then we're going to get into a little foreign horror film talk. So we're going to talk about The Wailing, which is a Korean film from 2016, I believe. And then we're also going to talk about When Evil Lurks, which I mean, I know it came out here in 2023. Maybe it was a 2022 release in Argentina. But those are going to be the ones we focus on. But it'll be a live show. So jump on into the discussion. Let us know what movies you've watched lately. And when we get into the foreign horror film talk, give us some of your thoughts there as well. Eli says, sounds like Davey is going to be the alpha zombie for Halloween. I don't know, Eli. We're not on pace right now. I'll say that. We are not on pace for that. Leanna's blaming the boost on subscribers to Bone Lake. Bone Lake. Hey, do you want to take a vacation to Bone Lake? Sounds like a euphemism. Yeah, I'm about to take her on over to Bone Lake, if you know what I mean. Oh, yeah. Both great movies, says Destiny. And yeah, I still need to watch The Wailing. Haven't seen it, but I am going to watch it before the stream. So either later on tonight or tomorrow, probably tomorrow. But I friggin' love When Evil Lurks. To me, When Evil Lurks, even though I absolutely adored Eli Roth's Thanksgiving, it was one of my favorites of 2023. I still think When Evil Lurks was the best horror movie of 2023. It beats out Evil Dead Rise and anything. I can't even remember anything else to me that really came close other than Thanksgiving. So there you go. That's what it sounds like to me, Frankie D, that it was inspired by Beast of War was inspired by the USS Indianapolis. They just shifted where it was from, just smaller movie. Maybe they just want a smaller group of guys, and I'm guessing that the filmmakers are Australian as well. Dean says, oh hell yeah, 10 p.m. my time gives me time to maybe catch something at the theater early and get home in time to jump in on the stream. Hell yeah. And it's just sort of impromptu as well. So I mean, not as impromptu as when Cecil was on, but just something we kind of put together over the weekend. And then late night with the Davey this week, guys, it's going to be a Before Dark episode because I've got a work meeting that night. So it'll be Before Dark. And then here, look at that. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at that brand new Before Dark logo with the sunset and everything like that. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to cover. I'm still figuring that out. Oh my God, I've just been so crazy busy. I'm sure you guys can tell. Hopefully that's one of the reasons why the sub count keeps on going up and the viewership is up there as well. So yeah, that'll be, I believe, 3 p.m. Eastern. So I'm going to shoot for noon Pacific for late night with the Davey Before Dark. Maybe I'll even push it to like 1 p.m. Pacific. So it's a little later for you folks on the East Coast, but I do have that work meeting to get to. And then, yeah, Thursday night, guys, it's up on the channel right now. So you can set your notification for tomorrow night stream with Koi, with Happy Sanjo. And you can set a notification for Thursday night stream because 10 p.m. Eastern, Cecil Laird will be on the channel. And we're going to be watching The Shallows from 2016 with Blake Lively. I've never seen this movie. Cecil loves it. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen it. So usually I don't do a first-time watch on a watch party. But Cecil's like, there's hardly any dialogue. It's mostly action. You might as well do it. And then I did a poll in the audience that was hanging out on Saturday, and 17 people, everyone that voted in the poll said, yes, do it. Do the first-time watch party. So Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, we're going to watch The Shallows, and it's going to be my first time. So hang out and help me pop that cherry, y'all. It should be a blast. Mika says The Wailing is one of our favorite foreign films. There you go. You ever swam in Bone Lake, ladies? Why don't you take a dive into Bone Lake? Yeah, When Evil Lurks is great. Oh my God, both Batman movies are amazing. Drop your boat in Bone Lake. Yeah, stay for a while. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you, Eli. Happy that you dig it. If you scrub on back to the beginning of the live stream here, you can see a whole bunch of logos that I've been putting together here. I'm going to docker in Bone Lake, bro. Thank you so much, Jamie. Yeah, we have a whole bunch of new ones that I'm going to be rolling on out. And I don't know, should I show the logos again? Let me know in the chat, guys, if you want me to show the new logos again. We can show those off. Yeah, I should put some on the merch. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? And let's see here. Love those 80s vibes in the graphic. Great logo. You guys are digging it. You got whatever floats your boat in Bone Lake. The Shallows is a great shark movie, says Mika. There you go. I'm very excited for it. Gory wants me to show him off. All right, Gory, here we go. So, okay, guys, this is, let's see here. I don't know why it did that. There we go. Oh my God, you guys are friggin' ridiculous, StreamYard. Okay, so had such a fun time with Cecil the other night that we're going to make it a somewhat regular thing, probably once a month, maybe twice a month occasionally. I don't know. Probably shoot for once a month. We're going to call it Unfiltered Horror Talk with Davey Deathray and Cecil Laird. So we got a cool little logo there showing off the Freddy glove and the Michael Myers kitchen knife because, you know, I'm a huge Michael Myers guy. Cecil's a massive Freddy Krueger fan. And yeah, so we got a little logo for that one there. Take care, Amanda. Have a good rest of your night, and we'll see you next time around. And then we've got Cult Corner, which is where we're going to be talking about, you know, movies that just aren't really in the mainstream. You know, they haven't quite hit pop culture. Of course, us hardcore horror fans know about these movies, but, you know, we'll either have discussions about the films or do watch parties. Like last night, we had a Cult Corner watch party of Mario Bava's 1964 Giallo classic, Blood and Black Lace. And then after we have our discussion or we watch the movie for Cult Corner, we're going to have you guys vote on whether or not the movie, you know, ends up achieving the seal of approval from the Cult Corner folks hanging out, watching everything as well. And then, of course, we got a little redesign on Late Night with the Davey. Super cute, really digging the neon vibes with the moon and the mic and everything. And then to match that, we've got the Late Night with the Davey Before Dark, which is just very like a nice little 1-2. Really love that soft kind of sunset glow there. So really digging what we've got going there. And then, guys, there was a series I did a long time ago. Long time ago. I can still remember when. Called I Finally Watched It. So I used to do that as like its own show, and then I did it as a live segment. And I want to bring it back as a live segment because I've been watching a lot of movies that are older that I've never seen before. So I'm thinking it'll just be a segment, you know, once a week on one of my live streams. We'll pull into a segment of I Finally Watched It. You know, when I started the series, it was movies like E.T. I had never seen E.T. until February 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago now, which is crazy, right? And recently I've been watching, I just saw Dolls for the very first time. So, I got to watch Cujo, The Gate. Those are going to be movies I watch this coming spooky season. I'm even considering watching that friggin' Hocus Pocus movie. Golly, you guys were just all over me about Hocus Pocus the other day. I'm definitely going to be watching Coraline. So I finally watched it. Is a nice little segment I can drop into on a live and just give you my thoughts, having finally seen these movies that for whatever reason have escaped my viewership for all of these years. And then the last one I've got, you can see it on the opening and on the intro and the outro of this stream right here, but we got a little horror news with Davey Deathray logo. So I'm going to be rolling this out, before and after every episode, and maybe try to find a little way to work it into the background and everything like that when we're covering the news here. So, and then I even have a version of it all drawn up for spooky season. So maybe we'll go, kind of seasonal. We can kind of, make little slight changes to the logo, which could be really fun. So yeah, that's what we got for new logos here on the show. And yeah, like Eli said, maybe some of this gets turned into merch. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know. Love the Cult Corner logo. That font is awesome. Oh, it's beautiful with the skull as the O and everything. Yeah. The late night logos are very David Lynch. All right. Then I know you like that. Thank you so much, Frankie. Appreciate it. Really appreciate the kind words there. Please put the late night logos on a t-shirt. Okay. Say no more. I'll get something cooked up for that. Really appreciate you, Chester. Thank you, man. If you like Coraline, check out Paranorman or Kubo and the Two Strings. Maybe both. I've heard of both of those movies. Ashton says no Hocus Pocus slander, sir. Okay. Well, I'll have to watch it first. And then if I don't like it, I can slander it. But if I end up liking it, then I've got to eat crow. How about that? Okay, guys, it's about 5:45. I've got the movies at 7. So I've got to run, get in a quick workout, get my ass in the shower, and drive my ass on down to the movie theater. Yes, checking out Batman 89 at 7 p.m. and Batman Returns at 10. I am so excited. It's going to be in the Dolby Cinema, which is my favorite theater room to watch film in. I know IMAX is really cool and 3D can be kind of fun depending on the movie, but guys, I swear, having the best sound quality possible when you're watching a film, whether it's in the theater at home or at home, is going to give you the best experience. Like, bar none. And to me, the Dolby Cinema is the best way to watch a movie. So I'm super pumped. And look out for some out of the theater reactions where I'll, I love these movies already. I know you love these movies already, but I'll just give you my thoughts on what that experience was like for both of those movies, for the sound and just the general theater experience, as a whole. Davey, you're going to see it in the theater just like I did. That rules. That's right, Jamie. And I did see I saw them in the theater on the original run, but we didn't have Dolby, at that point, like the big Dolby sound. So it'll be really cool. It's awesome that they've upgraded that, and I'm super pumped to check it out. And yeah, but anyways, I got to get rolling. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for jumping on in, just kind of out of nowhere to take a look at some news and shoot the shit with me. I'm glad you guys really dig the new logos. And of course, guys, if there's ever any news I miss out on that you happen to see, feel free to reach out to me. Send it to me either through Twitter, X, or Instagram. The links for all that are down in the description below, as well as the link to our Fourth Wall shop, where you can use the promo code Death Squad for 15% off on your checkout. So a whole bunch of fun merch over there. And I guess some of these logos are going to have to go on that merch as well. So keep an eye out for all of that as we go on. And you guys have been amazing. Thank you so much to the Patreon members, the YouTube channel members, our amazing group of Death Squad mods. You guys are incredible. Thank you for holding down the fort here and making sure everything is smooth sailing. And yeah, guys, I will be back tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern with our guy, Happy Sanjo, for a little movie chat. So I hope to see you guys then. But you know how this goes. Until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.